everyone, and welcome to a sheepish look at Sonic Battle on the Nintendo Game Boy Advance. I am one wild sheep yet again, and this here, ladies and gentlemen, is a Sonic the Hedgehog themed fighting party battler game released on Nintendo's fantastic portable system. And what this game amounts to is basically you run through multiple arenas and you beat the living crap out of your friends. And honestly, it's a pretty fun ride. It is a pretty fun game. And it does have a plot to go along with it as well, folks, which is pretty good. And honestly, the plot itself is actually the big bulk of this game, because it is freaking huge. Like, the storyline goes on for a long time. And basically involves Dr. Eggman finding this ancient machine called a Gizoid. Or Gizoid, or... how the fuck do I pronounce that? Gizoid, I'm gonna go with Gizoid. So, Dr. Eggman finds this robot called a Gizoid, and he can't get the damn thing to work. He can't get the thing to listen to him, so he chucks it outside, he throws it away, thinking it's a piece of junk. So Sonic stumbles across this robot, and the robot actually takes a liking to Sonic, and eventually they start training together, they start playing together, they start fighting together, and the robot starts learning abilities and whatnot from the other cast members, which is pretty damn good. And the game all revolves around each of these characters going around powering up the robot until we get to the end game, which is it's a pretty interesting little plot, and all the cutscenes are told in like this visual novelty sort of 2D cutout imagery, which is kind of neat, because I love the art style of this game. I love the sort of semi-blocky art style it's got going on. It's pretty damn nice to look at, what can I tell you, ladies and gentlemen. But by and large, the game is a fighting game, so I might as well talk about the fighting mechanics itself. Basically, when you get into an arena, you have basically an energy gauge, which you can charge up. You have the ability to block people, which is extremely finicky to use. You can punch people, you can do heavy attacks, you can do up attacks, which basically kick people into the air. And you have 3 special attacks to choose from for every single character. And basically, it's like a rock, paper, scissors sort of mechanic to it, where you need to pick one attack to use on the ground, one attack to use in the sky, and one attack to guard attacks from. So basically, you can set one attack, like this use Sonic for example, you can use like a Sonic Wind sort of horizontal shockwave attack on the ground, you can do like a spin attack when you're in the sky, and when other people drop mines and stuff on the floor, you can block them, for example. Which is pretty damn neat. It's a pretty interesting little battle system, which I do like. The thing I don't like about this game, however, is it is insanely repetitive. And this is actually the reason why I'm not doing a full LP of the game. You have to fight one set of enemies multiple times until that part of the story is finished, and you have to continuously fight enemies over and over again, which for a casual playthrough is it's boring, but if you have nothing else to do and you're on a bus or something, which is how I completed the game for the most part, you know, it's pretty fun ride. It's a pretty neat one, and the plot kind of pushed me forward, but repeated playthroughs are something I just don't recommend for this game. This game is not designed with repetitive playthroughs in mind, and it's not the most fun in the world to go through the story over again. But the battle system itself, the actual combat, the actual gameplay is insanely fun. So I would recommend actually to check this game out just for that alone. Probably get the game cheap nowadays anyway. But yeah, and outside of the combat mechanics as well, you can also customize the robot called Emerald, I believe they named him, and upgrade his abilities by grinding out battles. The more battles you get, the more abilities you earn. The more abilities you earn, the more abilities you can equip to Emerald and customize him to your own personal playstyle, which I love this. I absolutely adore the fact that you have character customization in regards to this robot, and it's pretty damn fun, you know, to try and customize Emerald to make him the most powerful fighting badass robot machine there is, which I do like. And you also gain skill points, which are basically experience points at the end of every battle as well, which will enable you to equip more cards, which are basically the things that drop that tell you what moves you can use. So when you level up more, when you get in more experience, you're able to equip more items. The more items you can equip, the more you can customize Emerald to your liking, you know, ladies and gentlemen. And at the end of every chapter you get Chaos Emerald, which I do believe gives you 10, either 5 or 10 skill points a pop. So if you really want to grind to get the maximum amount of skill points as short time as possible, what I sort of recommend is just redo Sonic's playthrough over and over and over again, and then you can basically max out Emerald immediately, you know, ladies and gentlemen. But like I said, this gameplay style is incredibly repetitive, and that's the biggest drawback of it. You know, the writing's okay, the plot is okay, but Jesus Christ, the repetitive nature of it. And the difficulty is also insanely high. I mean, higher than you would expect, because you can find yourself getting quite easily stomped in the first hour of game, because the game expects you to grind up Emerald, and then after you got past that point, then hey, you play as Knuckles and you can't grind up your skills as Knuckles, so you physically have to brute force your way through a fight, which is incredibly difficult to do. This game is not an easy game, folks. I played it recently and I have no idea how the hell I beat it back in the day, but I did, and here we are. So, you know, the game itself isn't the most... It's not the most well-made thing in the world, but it's still a fun little romp that I think gets underappreciated in the grand scheme of things, so feel free to check it out. And with that is it for this video, so thank you all for watching, hope you all enjoyed, don't be sheepish people, and I will catch you all again. Bye!